Good evening, welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. Clinton and Adam here for our 250th time, buddy. Holy cow. Can you believe it?
Quarter century.
Well, we've been buddies for at least that
Quarter
long.
millennium.
I feel like we've been trying to make this media thing go for at least 20 years. I mean, we were doing bullshit like this before it was easy to do bullshit like this.
It's always been easy for me.
Yeah,
I've
you were
never
the
done
quote.
any of the challenging parts.
You're so proud to be lazy.
No, it's my skill set. Not
That's
lazy
fair.
at all. You always had to do the editing work. Like, so much goes into this. I didn't
It
do
is a
any.
love of labor. I think, editing video is something that can be super rewarding, but it can also be time consuming. Oh man, it can drag you down. I think it's like anything. If you prep properly, you can make it easy. We had some good times, man. We did a lot of good stuff. Today we're gonna have some fun. We don't really have any guests scheduled. We're just gonna reminisce. We're gonna bullshit for as long as we want to. We talked about rage quitting and just walking away at 250s, clicking that X button and saying "see you never." But as of now, we're scheduled to be back on the 7th of January. We are off for the next 2 weeks. Let's have some fun tonight. We're going to ask for some fan participation, viewer participation. What's your best memory from 2024? That's a hard one for me, man. I thought about it as I posted it up. Thought, I'm going to lose. I'm going to fail that question. What are you thankful for about our great sport of auto racing? And what are you hopeful for? What are some things you hope that we can maybe see change, get improved? And we've had some good points. Of course, we called out Facebook today. We've got some Burger Barn videos of the week. And that's it. We're just going to have some fun and talk as we get ready to go into Christmas. And hopefully everybody's mental state's good. It can be tough this time of year. Stressful about everything, right?
It is a stressful time of year, so.
All right. Let's jump into it. What was your best memory from 2024, Adam? And you have no time to think. You definitely didn't even know that was on the list. The other
I
two
was going to
questions I
say
gave you earlier.
that wasn't part of my homework. I don't appreciate that.
No. Well, in all fairness, it only came out to me 2 minutes ago before we went on the air, too. So I don't have a lot of time to think about it.
The highlight of my season was Wetaskiwin, Alberta. Going to Edmonton with a field of 12 cars and a crowd that you couldn't wedge another person in the grandstands, and they were all freaking happy to be there and having an amazing time.
Yeah, that's a good win. I think I think that was a good win for us as announcers too, because we're flying out there. We've seen the entry list. We know there's 12 cars. For days ahead, we're thinking, man, what are we going to do here with 12 cars? Because you wrecked 4 or 5 in the first half of a 300 lap race. That's a long way to work your way through. To talk about these 6 or 8 guys that are left. Now, thankfully, the racing was amazing for 12 guys. I think. We were going back to the airport afterwards, and both of us, I think all of us agreed that it didn't matter how many cars were there because it didn't, the entries didn't change the outcome or the excitement factor at all that day.
No, they didn't. If I had any wish, I missed the days when we got to announce to the crowd. And just
Yeah.
because the way the stream goes, we're there to announce for the stream, so it's a different team that announces for the crowd. And I do miss that, but by and large, I think that was my highlight this year.
That's something we could talk to Joel about trying to work into the future, possibly getting in with those guys a bit better. But I think that was good. And for me, I'm still stumped. I wouldn't even know where to go. It's hard. I think we see so many races that it's hard to even predict. Like, wow. Think back on one race. I got to get back to you on that one. I don't know. Spencer, do you have I know you can't talk to them, but we can relate. Do you have a special memory from 2024? I
also
think for
thought
me, like the double or triple weekends where we do like Gosh Weekend and then we go on the road for 2 days. I think those are probably the most rewarding for us after a good weekend of hard work and good events and good racing. I think those are the ones. Yeah, I could go along with Nationals weekend too. I think Nationals put on some great racing this year. But still, I'm trying to think outside of Oshweekend. I don't want everything to be Oshweekend, but
I thought Tyler
um,
Powless winning down at Brighton was a pretty cool night.
yep, yep, definitely. A lot of great events. I'm trying to think of a good pavement memory. I mean, Autumn Colors is always fun, but the whole APC circuit, we have so much fun. We're so blessed to be able to do what we do. Um, all right, let's switch gears. What did you do your homework?
Awkward silence.
Yeah, like, well, Merry Christmas, Jim. I guess we can say that to you down in Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've been. Yeah, I considered my homework.
you considered your homework. All right. So I just got a meme from Mike Bowman, and he says, "Dear Santa, I want a slick tracks with no cushion." So I'll send that to Spencer. I don't know how soon Spencer can get that on, but that's a good one because we did ask for what you want. Let me just get this over to Spencer. We can try and get that on the air. Sending to you in the dump, Spence. Um, yeah. What are you thankful for, Adam? All right. You want let's try. You want to read some fan responses, or do you want to jump right into
Yeah,
our stuff?
okay, read some fan responses.
All right. So we put the homework out to everybody. I gave Adam some homework for tonight's show. You need to pick at least two things about racing that you're thankful for, and two things about racing that you're hopeful will be improved or better in the future. Ricky from the Speedway says, thankful for all the amazing people they've met since he started in the business, and like to see more Indigenous youth try it out in the future. Let's talk about that one for a minute. You know, Ricky works at Oshwegan, Indigenous himself. I think Oshwegan's done a great job with the Indigenous crew, um, and all the stuff. All how that has built up with the help of some great business owners up there who believe in racing and who bought into it, who didn't grow up with it, and they're giving a lot of these kids a shot. And let me get past just the big teams that are putting on money too. We have a lot of great family teams that are making it work too. We have a couple young kids coming up out of micro sprints who are going to fill this crate class that you're going to be shocked when we get to where we're going. So I think that's we're very fortunate there. You want to talk on that, Adam? On how the Indigenous community has grown since we've been at Oshweekend? I mean, when we started, we used to have to start later because everybody had to come from Niagara to come to Oshweekend. There was nobody from the community until Art Hill and these guys got involved that I can recall.
Yeah, it started as a trickle for sure. And then the floodgates open. The only trouble with that is you remember when Friday Night Thunder, they're producing that, so they're always kind of asking questions and getting our thoughts. And I probably gave the worst answer you could possibly give, because what I love about the Speedway is you check your race and religion at the door. When you come into the racetrack, you're part of our fraternity, and
Yeah,
that's how it. Nothing else really matters. So in that sense, I love what we have at the racetrack, because politics don't enter into the equation. But it's a bit of a cop out because, like you say, there's some amazing native owned teams, locally owned teams, who are doing amazing things for young people who want something to be passionate about and to get involved in something. So it's fostering a healthy community for locals. And if you go outside of Six Nations, there's also every race team, every race shop draws different people in and make the family bigger and bigger. So it's a welcoming community.
yeah, I think that's a great way to put it too. But we have grown it, and I think it'll continue to grow as the Speedway gets on and on. Let's talk about some more general. The most general answer we got, Adam, was thankful for the great people we've met. I think that goes without saying. That's the first and most response we got to the question was just the amazing people. That's what I wrote down. What am I thankful for? The great people in this business. Some of the nicest people hang around our racetracks, and I think that's that was number one on my mind. I think that speaks a lot for our sport. that we can have, you know, that type of response right across the board.
It is a no brainer. And the other thing, especially for those of us who are a little bit older, we didn't grow up in an age of internet, right? We grew up in an age where people were very much involved in their own cliques, whatever it was that you did, whether you're athletic or whether you're whatever. Being involved in racing, being passionate about racing wasn't very trendy, wasn't very cool. So being a part of that family isn't even about all the people that you meet that you really like and get along with. It's even the people that you don't get along with, but they're part of that racing community. So they're that it's a bond without being close knit friends or family. But they're people that you don't have to explain your passion to because they get it. Because when we grew up, it was hard to explain to people what the fixation was with going to the racetrack all the time.
Yeah, and I think it's a byproduct. We all go there for the speed, the sport, the excitement. But you end up in this fraternity, whether you choose to or no, knowingly sign up for it. And one thing you said there, it may be your enemy, the guy you can't stand at the track, but if you see him with a flat tire an hour from the speedway on his way home, you're going to pull over and help him get his rig home. And even if you were fist fighting with him 2 weeks ago, I mean, some of the most best people I hang out with now at the races were guys I was in a fist fight with back in the day over something stupid, that we can laugh about to this day because someone got their fender rubbed the wrong way and we all ended up in a Donnybrook in the pits over stupidity. But yeah, I think that those are some good things. Um, I put, and someone just put it, for me, I'm thankful for our Speedway and the G-Force teams. We have some amazing people helping build the sport. So I think that's one thing from my list too. We've met some great people. You just think about what our life was like before we met Spencer. You know, um, we were still going this route. We were on the path, but he supercharged to where we wanted to be and has taken us to new heights that we never thought we could have been ourselves. So it's stuff like that that happens that you don't really expect to be. And then just I know we're generalizing it at Oshweekend right now, but you look around Ontario, you've got some of the best people out there running these racetracks, and I think the fact that, and I don't just mean at the top, I mean, the guys sweeping up the speedy dry on a Saturday night at some of these tracks are some of the hardest and best working, most dedicated people we got, and we'd be in trouble without those people who make the sport go round.
No, for sure. It's a huge community. I just got a message that I want to share. I would say that the one thing I'm thankful for is the ability to drive an hour or two in any direction and be able to find at least one track to watch racing at. And how many tracks we have in general. I'm hopeful that there are no more announcements about losing racetracks.
It's a good debate in itself. Humberstone's gone forever now. I mean, they've tore it apart. It's done. There's no hope. We lost Barry not too long ago. I mean, the list goes on and on of tracks. We know a couple of that have the crosshairs squarely on them inside the next decade. But yeah, it's something I call race pressure. It's great to have the sport this healthy around here. But man, for guys like me trying to build weekend events, you have to consider that, like, on a weekend, like you say, there's anywhere up to 9 or 10 tracks within 2-3 hours of our place. So you got to be conscious of that. That's why we end up having big midweek shows like the Outlaws on a Wednesday and a Thursday, because it makes sense to get everybody out because the racing pressure they have at their home track won't let them to come out to us. So I think there's lots of ways to go about that one too. Let's have some fun, Spencer. First up, show that meme that I sent you from Bowman. So you're saying I want slick tracks with no cushion. That, and it's funny how it goes, right? Because we have some drivers who want slick with no cushion, and on the other side we got drivers who want it all cushion and cowboy up. So it all depends on where you are on that spectrum. Um,
Oh, that's the beauty of racing. right? Is everyone wants something a little bit different. And most people, if you talk to racers, or I don't want to say they're on the selfish side, but they know what their skill set is. Mike Bowman knows on a slick racetrack with no cushion, he's got a hell of a lot better chance at success. So if that makes you selfish, then I suppose it is. But that's what they're geared to. To me, as long as you can see the action, I'm good. I don't like Dusty.
Um, let's switch gears a bit here. We'll come back because we'll let everybody continue to comment what they're thankful for, what they're hopeful for here for the future. Spencer, can you bring up the Steel City Rumble series that I sent? Yeah, coming to Flamborough. They announced this today. Superstocks have kind of been up and down at Flamborough over the past few years. What do you make or take out of this?
Great idea. Great idea. I mean, we got to focus on specials. I don't think people on the pavement side are as in tune to racing every week in the summer as they used to be. So you've got to build schedules that will appeal to them. You can't get the genie back into the bottle when it comes to the cost of a late model. I mean, did you hear what that interview at the Snowball Derby? What did he say? $175,000 race car
Yeah,
just got destroyed.
I think I got another picture I want to send Spencer too. And part of my thing, part of my wish list has to do with the economy here. I'm gonna send this to Spencer. Spencer, you let me know when you're ready for this one. I just sent
I,
this one to
I don't often talk politics, but I really wish it would snow in Ottawa so our prime minister could take a walk in it.
Yeah, Spencer, I sent that to the dump. Let me know when you're ready for it. Pierre Polyev, for those American viewers, basically the opposition here in Canada. Past couple days, our majority government's kind of falling apart. So the dollar plunges below 70 cents, Adam. After the NDP Liberals revealed their budget here in Canada. Now food, fuel, other commodities priced in US dollars will cost more for our suffering people. So as our government gets weaker here in Canada, and no matter whether you voted Liberal or Conservative or whatever it is, I think we're all in agreement now we need to change. And with Trump in the States, the big bully, as they say, down across the border, they're going to push us around because we're ripe for pushing around with this pussy government we got. I'll say it like that. No political correctness. But as they hurt our dollar more out of it. So now when we try and book races, World of Outlaws, there was a time in my career in this racing deal in the last 20 years when the dollar was at par. Literally at par. So we could do things in a grander scale. And every bit of racing parts you're buying here in North America, I would say 99% of them come from the States or elsewhere. That is just going to drive up the cost of racing if we can't get our dollar in check. That's the biggest thing facing racing and the business of racing right now is how shitty our Canadian dollar is in regards to the American dollar. So right now, when I'm doing, let's say, $100,000 purse to the Outlaws, that becomes now $145,000, not $100,000. So we're paying these series in American dollars, but we're charging Canadian dollars. We're losing 40% on every ticket. And God forbid we raise our prices $5 more than they were last year because we're the biggest greedy bastards out there when you do that. But how can we expect to compete ever in the racing world here in Canada if they can't get this dollar in check? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
What can they be? Right? I'm excited for what the next couple of years bring because I think change is afoot. It's going to happen. I'm an optimist. Do I think there's going to be some growing pains? Probably. But, yeah, we need some change. It's time to change. And there's a lot
It's
of things that
coming.
we don't have in Canada, like Las Vegas and New York State, and things that I want to see and do. And God, they cost a fortune.
And Trump is just totally trolling us every post now, calling Justin Governor Trudeau and man, he ever slammed the deal. I don't want to get into politics here, man, but racing, it needs it so bad. We need a change here. We need a strong government to make this work. France says when he first started going to Canada in the late 60s, early 70s, the exchange was the other way. Oh boy, can you imagine? That's when we were strongest, but yeah, we got to do something to get this dollar. I mean, there was a point when I was multiplying everything we did by 1.3 when we were at 30%. Now we're up to 1.45 last night. When I went to the CBC currency exchange right now, and that's basically the government rate that we're using every day when we get proposed stuff from the States or an American driver calls us with appearance money. You know, the rate right now is 1.46. It's going the wrong way, like another point the wrong way today since I did my math last night. So this outlaw show could end up costing us a billion Canadian by the time we get to May. You know, it's closing in on $300,000. The business of racing for 2 nights with the Outlaws. We're over $280,000 Canadian for 2 nights. You know, it's insane how bad the dollar's killing us. But that was on my hopeful, one of my hopefuls. What do I hope improves? The American Canadian dollar exchange rate. Possibly new government because it impacts teams buying parts, tracks booking shows, special guests, etc. So I think it's very important. Consider that when if we ever get a chance to vote here again in Canada. Let's have some fun. Let's do some Burger Bar videos of the week. See if we can job some fun. What you got, Spencer? Send them to us. We'll have some fun. Okay. How about this? V8 drill.
Itself is all engine. It's a model V8 engine with overhead camshafts, a whole valve train, 2 carburetors sitting on top, and all the different things.
Now, if Gary was still working, that'd be Gary's Christmas gift. A little V8 drill there for boring through the concrete. I thought it was kind of neat. Some of these guys have too much time on their hands, but I thought that was a cool one.
That's what crossed my mind was the amount of time you have to be able to design that and figure it all out.
Like in Milwaukee, where, you know, one of them's got to have enough power. You don't think, shit, you know what I could really use? I need a V8 on this drill. All right, send us another one, Spencer. Okay, so this is RC Racing. I feel this is the best view we've seen. This feels like a real race. They're driving like a real race. Just watch this for a lap or two. Slider with the crossover, like, I thought it was great. Now we're up on lap trap. Now, we've seen a lot of these cars. Adam, you want to comment on that? I thought that was neat.
Yeah, I do. Mike Schmidt, too much time. Talk to us. What's that mean?
Yeah, well, we figured out that. But, Adam, you know what these remote controls are missing? We have yet to see these dirt cars with an epoxy floor that looks like it's got grooves like a racetrack. I still feel like we're driving on a dirty shop floor. We got to get the epoxy going, and you know, we need McGlynn in there to make it look like it's got grooves.
Yeah, that could
really be set up.
Put some compound down on the high side.
What else we got, Spencer?
How fun is this adjustable wrench? So you can change the size of it with the shims. It's from a German submarine. Apparently, they used to use them in there. Pretty cool.
Now, I know Bob had some old tools, but did he ever have an adjustable like that?
I don't think so.
I thought that was cool. I've never seen anything like that before. It makes sense, though, so it won't rust up on the, the spinner wheel maybe won't rust up in the submarine. I don't know. But I thought that was cool. Brandon, you actually race on high bite clay. Where do we get that for the speed? Half the teams would love it. Oh, too much time on the hands, Mike. Yes.
There you
Mike's saying
go.
that too much time. You know, my dad gave me shit for last week. He said, we spent the whole week talking about PRI. What the hell is PRI? I said, oh, damn it. Performance Racing Industry was a big trade show that everybody goes to in Indianapolis. We spent the week talking about PRI. We didn't tell everybody what PRI was. Special club.
See, those are the things that we miss out on. Teach your dad to text you during the show.
He does, but I try not to pay attention to it. What else we got? Just sell all your shit parts that you can't do anything with anymore, right? Race fans will buy. I'm shocked when we're leaving, especially when we're on the road with NASCAR, out west or out east, and the fans are walking any bit of race parts they can get. They are keeping and walking out. That one race 2 years ago when Tags got wrecked, half his car left with a bunch of people. Pretty good.
The Fairchilds have never had to bring a used Goodyear tire home. General Tire now.
Yeah, I agree. They take all the tires they can get to. Does Canada have their own version of PRI? That's a great question. I would think Motorama would be the closest thing to it, but even still, they're two totally different veins, right? Performance racing industry, there is all of the main product manufacturers unveiling their newest, latest, and greatest products. We might even have some in the videos of the week. I'm not sure what else is still to come. And then Motorama is basically just every kind of motorsport business involved, from car clubs to racetracks to collectors to suppliers. It's just not quite the same.
Bicknell used to have their open house. I'm not sure if McCall's did the same thing. Grisdale's used to have an event before Motor State came along. They'd have a lot of their vendors up. Now with Motor State, it's a lot different because you don't have that direct connection to the manufacturers. Motor State has purchased the industry.
Yeah, if you don't know what Motor State is, it's basically an Amazon for racing parts. Every kind of racing and every kind of part is on Motor State. Most of the race teams or racing vendor businesses here who are selling you parts are getting their stuff from Motor State and reselling it to you. Yeah, Motor State is where it's at, but you got to get a membership there to get online or get a login somehow, become a customer. All right. What else we got, Spencer? Okay, here's a new product from PRI. So this is an auto siper. And just look how much technology we're putting into cutting slits in race tires now.
Looks like Abdullah the Butcher's forehead.
It looks amazing. Like, think about that. Just set it and forget it and walk away. Have your tires all cut for you, but man, what's that machine worth? A few grand for sure, if not $5.
Do you know how much a right rear tire is worth? I'm not setting a machine on cut and walking away from it.
Yeah, right rear. A new right rear Canadian sprint car tire is just shy of $500 for one tire right now. It's crazy. All right. What else, Spencer? Okay. Let me just tell you, I'm addicted to these things now. These are miniature videos. And this guy is like restoring a car the whole way, but it's miniature. It's amazing what these guys are doing. Just watch this for a minute. Using real techniques, but in a miniature style. I think it's amazing. Again, too much time on your hands, but full body restoration, a little bit of body filler there. I think it's astounding the work these guys are doing. And there, once you watch one of them, there's thousands of them that come up in your feed. They even straighten, refix the chrome.
I'll give you that. That's pretty cool.
Lots of time on your hands. We need to see the finished product, though. They even redo the interior. I even love how he makes it look like it was a smashed windshield and then puts the new one in. Mini cherry picker.
He even uses a cherry picker. That's awesome.
Isn't that freaking cool? I could make time to do that. I think
that is pretty cool. For those who don't know, a cherry picker is the little contraption you use for pulling an engine in and out of a race car, any car.
What else we got, Spencer? We're having fun with you today. Okay, so this is Corey McAllister coming from the performance racing industry.
With your raffle prize, buddy.
He won a rear end and had to carry it 5 blocks through downtown Indianapolis. Just roll out again, Spencer. You don't need the sound on, but yeah, Corey McAllister and the boys taking home all their loot after winning the raffle.
It's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, well, that's a few grand quick change they got there. It's a nice piece. Maybe a DMI rear end there. That's a nice score from PRI. All right, what else we got?
Hey everybody, Lance at XC Gear. It's a great time to show you our monkey bar system for the sprint car. We've got this thing jigged up. This thing's ready to go to testing. We're going to drop test it. We've done all the testing we can do, and we're fixing to send it off and drop test it. It's a great time to show you the video. You can kind of get an idea of what's going on with this device. So there's 2 devices bolted to the A-frame that bolt to the seat, and inside of both of these devices are 2 polymers just like this with this design. So there's 4 polymers on the back of the seat, and I'm going to show you. Here's the part. Half the magic is on the bottom of the seat down here. There's 2 devices on the bottom of the seat. So this car's got a lowered butt bar in it, a real low butt bar. So a total of 4 devices in the car with polymers just like this. It's going to cushion the blow. I don't care how the car gets hit. It's going to help cushion those blows. It's also going to remove the engine and drive line vibration for you. So excited to show it to you guys. You'll see them soon.
Hey, it's a great product. You know, Dad here, Gary, broke his back in that same kind of action where you get up in the air and you slam down and you don't really have any cushion in that part of the car. And, you know, I love to see the innovation in that kind of stuff.
Big time. And that's somebody recognizing a need, because like you say, particularly in dirt cars, how many people have we seen? Bob McCready, Tim McCready, and it's the same fracture.
We just saw Corey McAllister. Wasn't that the same type of thing that took him out for part of the year, too? You know,
I believe so.
Craziness. Yeah, I think it's great to see. Like you said, new innovation, new products, and PRI is typically when we start to see a lot of these things coming out. And it's everything, like you say, from safety innovations right on through. That was the other thing that came up a lot. What are you thankful for? The safety crew and all the folks who do all the, the work to keep everybody safe. And when we get a situation, yes, definitely would have helped both of our sprint car drivers, Tyler Hendricks and Jesse Costa, at times over the years. I'm certain he's definitely would have saved a lot of drivers a lot of pain, as Adam says. What else we got, Spencer? Okay, along the same lines as the model, check this out. They're getting so wild now, they even have the models looking like they're alive. But the last one, of course, is Jethro in the back with the dog.
That's badass.
I love it. I love it. All right. We got any more, Spencer? I've just been pumping them in all weekend. No, we don't need that one. Maybe at the end. 4 more, he says. Send it. Okay, look at this setup. Mod light or a vintage car. Go-kart and a street rod. Did you catch there were 3 identical cars there? You got like a pit go-kart in what? That's not a mod light. What is that?
Dwarf car.
Dwarf car. Yeah. Why the hell couldn't I think of that? Yeah. So you got a dwarf car, you got a go-kart, and a street rod. Run that one again, Spencer. I think. Yeah. This is the sign you're loving life. You don't want for much when you can haul this around on Saturday afternoons to the local speedway. I think that's badass. Love it. All right, 3 more to go in our Burger Barn videos of the week. All right, love them. Keep them coming. Okay, so this is one of those big, expensive drone shows. Somebody has a drone jammer, and look at them all dropping into the lake.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it gets better. It's like stone.
Well, that's a beautiful show on its own.
Yeah,
have you watched?
All dropping.
Have you been following the news with the drone issues in the States right now?
How could you not?
Well, I don't know. I've seen the kind of videos that you shared for our Burger Barn videos of the week, so I know that you don't have a lot of time for news.
I laughed yesterday when you called me and said, "Have you looked at the news today?" I'm like, "Well, yes." I think that'd be wild. I was gonna have Abby come on as a joke and be like our drone expert, telling us what's going on with the drones down there. All kinds of wicked stories. I heard one today, but I don't know. I don't want to perpetuate fear or whatever. They said that maybe, of course, allegedly, this is what I saw on the internet. Okay, so no credibility institute at all. Said that they were nuclear sniffers, and they're from our military, and they're sniffing out to make sure there's no nuclear stuff. A nuclear suitcase. And I was like, damn, that's a new theory. All right, Spencer, what else we got? I thought this was neat to show how they haul the NASCAR haulers around.
Really? Show that again, please.
So they bolt these on top of the locking nuts. I think it's ingenious. And they strap them down to those rings. Now I wish they had to show them the final strap down. But, you know, you wanted me to say strap on, didn't you? But I did.
100%.
Play the next video, Spencer. Okay, so we've seen like the Flugtag where they fly, and then we've seen them go on the downhill. This is a combo each. Adam, do you think we can make it to the end?
100% no.
But the guy who makes it is actually driving backwards. I thought those guys had a good chance. Oh! And look at how narrow it gets as you get closer to the end.
How do people not die?
Or smashed her face. Oh,
Oh,
there's
the
Spencer and
weenie
Daniel.
mobile.
We were on the banana boat earlier. You didn't see that? The second one out was a banana. Oh, I thought they were going to make it. I'm glad they didn't make it. That was a crappy. Hey, look at this. The guy's steering backwards.
What a landing.
I love that stuff. I love that Red Bull stuff. It is so good. All right. What else we got? Okay. iRacing or real?
That's AI.
What's the giveaway?
No rooster tails.
Now for me, it was the first guy flies. It looks too much like a video game, but all the rest of it is so damn real. Play it again from the start. This first wreck, right there, that looks too fake to me. But all the rest, I'm trying to look at his hands on the clutch. It's amazing how video games have come. Unreal, right? Like, I can't believe it, but all right.
Yeah.
Spencer, what do you say? AI?
Wow. Alvers and I just agreed.
No spray. No tire spray. Good thing. See, Spencer taught me look at fingers. If you look at a picture and wonder if it's AI generated, it's usually got 7 fingers. Or the hands are messed up. AI hasn't figured out how to do hands and feet yet. All right, what else we got, Spencer?
Braxton, walk me through the pass for third because the laps were beginning to wind down and you knew it was go time.
Okay, so this kid's going to talk about how his dad taught him how to race. And he's successful at it. We'll watch the whole clip. Is this a good thing to be teaching the kids or a bad thing to be teaching the kids? Let it roll.
That guy was hard to pass. He was running a good line. He was running on the bottom. So, my dad told me this trick when I just started. We call it a bump and run. Like coming into the corner or out in the corner, I just bump them, and then that would slide them up the track a little bit so I can get under them. So I tried that, and it worked.
Work to perfection. Congratulations. We'll see you in an LCQ in this one.
Thank you.
Remember, we take the top 3. So 3 here. We'll move on to the last chance qualifier. Everybody else done. For this part of the shootout, Flat again aggressive with that front bumper. Trying to beat to the outside of Moorfield. Moorfield opens up the bottom. Flat squeezes by on the front straightaway.
Good thing or bad thing to be teaching them, Adam?
It's real. He didn't wreck him.
It's the game. It's the game we play. And that was part of my point on this. The kid is so damn smooth at 4.5 years old or however old he is. He didn't drop him. He didn't boot him. He just moved. So smooth. And wow, I just, you want to hate. You know, it wasn't a violent takeout. He was good at that. That kid's getting prolific at moving him off the bottom. What do you say about that? Like in asphalt, on dirt, it's a dirty move. On pavement, it's every Friday, Saturday night in every class.
You know, even a move like that, there's a lot of finesse. There's a lot of skill involved. When you see a hacker do it, it's ugly. But when you see someone who really has great car control, it's fun to watch. But what I do respect from that young racer, he didn't just drive up and punt him. He saw the line he was running, knew it was going to be a challenge, and knew that was what he had in his toolbox to dig into to try to make that move.
I agree. And it's like he's gonna get beat by that move. I think, and it's the game we're allowed to play. And I'm trying to officiate that thing and think, what would guys like Doug Leonard or Dave Huntsinger or myself do with that situation? Would we want him to be penalizing the guy for rubbing him? I don't think you can do nothing about that.
Here's a problem with that situation. When you're officiating a race, you've got to watch the whole track. That move was subtle that he made. If it hadn't been set up the way it was and heard that interview, even a good official might have watched that and thought, did he bump that driver? Or did that driver just get loose and get up off the bottom? Yeah, we have the benefit of the interview afterwards and a replay that happened to be focused on exactly what we're talking about. But you always have to err on the side of, some people don't like to use video replay and they just like to call what they see live.
I think you have to use it if you can get access to it quick enough. I mean, there's been many times in the past couple seasons with our G-Force broadcast where, there's been something gray area or questionable, and I wondered, hey, was that a call we missed or a call we made that we shouldn't have made? Being able to go back and look at it and at least explain it to the driver, here was our thought process. I mean, I had a situation this year when someone was complaining that they didn't qualify because the drivers ahead of them weren't listening on the one way and were in the wrong lineups. Well, I'm sorry, you were scheduled in 10th and you came to line in 10th. If 6 through 5 were all screwed up, I don't care about that. Like, you were scheduled to start 10th, you started 10th. That's where we're at. So,
but you'd say it's worth it to take the extra time sometimes to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, well, first thing I did was go back and look at that race at the start. I'm like, okay, yep, you came to the line in the spot. My race pass says you were. I can't help you with that.
Would you say, Clinton, would you say that same logic applies to having a finish line and getting the results of a race right?
Yes, I would.
Okay. That was some Law and Order stuff right there. That was some back him into a corner, give him some positive reinforcement, and then stick it to him.
I can't lie. Like, oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna actually.
No, that argument's dead and gone. We're all good with that. But it was a fun opportunity.
Maybe for you, everybody in this viewing audience is hoping we will kick it off talking about finish lines again. All right, what else we got in the vault, Spencer, before I would get you to put up that engine picture? That's it for videos. All right, let's look at the picture I just sent you. Kyle Tomaski sent me this Can-Am Speedway will allow the CT 525 engines for competition in dirt car. Motors are available through the Speedway office for more information. Now, along with that, he sends a message that says LS-based engines. So this will be the future. So this is what all the new modern trucks are coming with. I mean, most of the 350s we're still on is 50s, 60s technology. This 350, V8 we're all on. It all comes from the standard basically setup. This is the newer style truck engine. Show the picture again, Spencer. So this would be a big block option or an option to compete with the big blocks. Now, the beauty of this LS package and also the detriment to the LS package in racing is there are so many options for this engine. It's come up around here, Adam, as potential replacement for the Crate 602 that we're also invested in. At some point, GM may not make that engine anymore. And then where do we all go? I mean, up and down the pavement and dirt ranks in North America, we are all very heavily invested in the 602 package. The LS package, well, the argument from the lower teams is, hey, we can buy these at the junkyard and run them. But in reality, nobody's running junkyard engines if you're going to beat the big dog or Bailey or Mark Fawcett or these guys. You're going to have a properly put together motor, at which point we get back to a $10,000 engine package still, is the thought process. I think we need to find a way to get there at some point to this new LS deal. Are we there yet? I'm not sure, but all eyes are going to be on Can-Am to see how they work their way through this. Do you have any thoughts on the new LS package?
I do like the notion of fixed costs. At the same time, there still has to be technical inspection. There still has to be checks and balances involved. So, is it possible that things can both be true? Like, is it possible to put together an engine package and not force and not mandate that everybody run it, but make it as an option?
So I can tell you from the 360 side of things, this has been lingering since pre-pandemic, the LS package, in many ways. I mean, I hope I'm not opening up Don Spieth's book too much, but Don Spieth has told me many times he's got two divisions heavily invested in this, and he'd like to see this LS engine be tested out to see can it be a replacement for the 602s, for the Thunderstocks, and the Sportsman someday. We haven't worried about it. We got the 602 crates, we got Thunderstocks in it, but also from the 360 side, okay? So, could we build, that's the beauty of this LS package on, the core can be bolted on to make every bit of horsepower from what you'd make in a street stock, pure stock type setup, right through to a 360 engine if you're putting, you can do a lot to these motors. Well, two things. One, you're going to need, like you said, a spec package. So someone's going to have to pick what heads, what pistons, how it all gets run, what injection, what carburetors, however, is it naturally aspirated with carburetor, is it injected, all these other types of things that need to be answered. Then you get into cost. So if you come to me, and right now a crate motor is about 10 grand. So if you come to me and say, hey, Clint, I got a package, we can work together. I think here's a great package, but it's $9,800. Well, I'm not interested in upsetting the apple cart at $9,800. You come to me and say, hey, at $6,500 now, we can build a package that can compete with that 10 grand motor. Now we're lowering costs for the teams. I'm interested in that. Because the other concern is if the cost is the same, you're just going to have everybody feel they need it even if they don't. And everybody's going to have to go out and buy new motors. It's perception in this game just as much as it is performance. So when it came to the 360s, we were asked, we have guys buying $70,000 US motors. That's not sustainable up here, for everybody. Then it was pitched, could we do an LS motor for, the 360s? And let's face it, we have the clout here in Ontario and the car count that we could open up a 360 second engine package for an LS motor. That's not a traditional 360 engine that could keep these guys running. We're still looking at $25,000. We could buy a used 360 for $25,000. So we're not interested in going that route. Now you come to me and say, hey, 17.5, I can build you a motor that can pretty much get you in the game with these guys. We're interested in talking. So we're getting closer every day, but I don't know. Could be the future.
I'm glad I don't have to participate in coming up with rules. I don't think I'd have the patience for
it. There were many times the Thunderstocks had me ready to jump off a bridge. It's some of the most painful stuff we do, for sure. And that's what everybody asks me, what do you do in the wintertime? I deal with troubles all day long. We just went through a tire change. We're all changing the tires now because we had to change tires. So that's a big dramatic thing we had to deal with that the teams took really well, actually. So super happy about that. What are we forgetting, Ann? Do you have anything on your homework list you wanted to get off your chest?
Oh, not that I want to get off my chest, I don't think. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for the people. I'm thankful for the safety involved in racing. What am I hopeful for? I'm hopeful that people will do better. Like the same thing that I think needs improvement is the same thing I love about racing. Let's not shit in our own pool. We're all here because we love racing. And it's very, very easy to complain about things and to find the negative and to suck the energy out of the room. When what we really need to do is, we don't need to do it, but make it a point to consider walk a mile in other people's shoes. It's very easy to cast blame and shade and doubt, but just remember, this industry is not growing. It's shrinking in the number of playgrounds we have to go out and play on.
Yeah, I think, on my list of things that I'd like to see to improve, fan support, we got to keep growing the sport. Just communication. We have to continue to move tracks to keep on common rules. If you're not there yet, you've got to get there. I think we are very proud of the communication we have on the dirt here around Ontario. And I would love to see the pavement tracks all get on board that way. I still feel like there's a lot of friction, and it's, I get it, but man, it'd be so much more beneficial if everybody could just agree on a few more things. It's fantastic on the dirt that we can trade our schedules around and really, really work hard not to step on each other's feet to make it easy on the teams and make things successful. And I think that helps build the business end of racing too. When everybody on the outside looking in, let's face it, the businesses that help us are the ones who are paying attention. They know when you're pissing in your own soup, right? As you would say. So let's all pull on the rope together. Wow, some hopefuls coming in. Hopeful for Jacasa to come back. Haven't heard much on that. There were some inklings, but I don't think anything has changed in the past, I want to say 3 years at least, since anyone's even talked about anything there. Isma's come back to Delaware. That's a big story.
That's going to be a big deal. Did you happen to see Gord Bennett's Facebook post this week?
I did. We got to get Gord back on. So we're talking about a hybrid super speedway. Is that what I'm understanding?
A hybrid oval. I don't think it's a super speedway, but I think it's multiple surfaces on his Grand Bend property. And I'll give Gord this. He is creative.
Multiple surfaces. So does that mean pavement concrete? Does that mean a dirt patch in the middle somewhere too?
I think pavement dirt. Unless I was looking at it wrong.
I saw the layout he sent, but maybe we'll have to work to get Gord out here in the first couple weeks of the new season and talk about what the plan is there. They haven't really revealed too much, but it could be interesting. Wait a minute, Robbie. They let the Redskins name come back? For real? Did that happen today? See, I didn't see that in the news today.
Or is that what he's hopeful for?
Yeah, that's Robbie. You're right. Robbie's hopeful to get the Redskins name back. It didn't actually happen yet. Most oval part of the road course, Shaw says. Okay. I can dig that. Ice sprint car races. Okay, let's talk about these things. We get pitched to stuff all the time, man. The weather's just so not predictable in our neck of the woods anymore. So I don't think we could make that work. John told me to check my messages. I'm not sure what I'm missing there, but I'm looking and I'm not seeing nothing.
I'm a little irritable that there's not an indoor track up in Ohsweken yet. Come on. Give it the program.
It's right on the list alongside Tower, Laser Beam finish line, and a roof over the indoor track. What would we
Johnny Arch, he's in the construction business. Will he build me a new tower?
We went out to talk about a new tower 2 weeks ago, and I shit my pants when I found out how much it was going to be. Yeah. They were like, yeah, and even if we started right now, we wouldn't be ready by May. So I'm like, damn. Wow, we made it through the hour, bud. And 250 freaking hours of each other. Spencer needs a gold medal and a hero biscuit for that one. He's been through it all.
I love it. Time and money.
Yeah, Dad always taught me, miracles are possible. It just takes time and money.
Speaking of time and money, let's do the show from Mr. Art's place in the winter.
You going to fly us down? You live in Florida somewhere now, don't you, John?
Somewhere in the sunny south.
Somewhere warm. Derek says sprint cars, a new touring series in Ontario. Okay, so we did Action Sprint Tour. Support kind of fell off. We parked it. There is talk about bringing it back. But I mean, what are you trying to get at there, Derek? They already raced Rockville. They already raced Brighton. They're going back to Merrittville for one race this year. Buxton had them. I mean, they're everywhere. Just not with a solid tour right yet. So, stay tuned. You never know what could come down the pipe. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everybody. Good call, Fran.
For sure. One more thing I'm hopeful for is that nobody ever finds out whether Greg Callan and I like each other or not.
He did post his comments, all Tower related, of course, about how he wanted to be. He was hopeful he could be farther away from you.
I can't blame him for that.
I'm thankful there's an off season away from Adam Ross, and I'm also thankful that it's 7 months long. I'm also hopeful for a new tower that one day has separate booths for the two of us. So good.
Oh,
so good.
What a jerk.
And then Dave Hunsinger jumps in. Greg, how about a separate tower altogether for just Adam? Maybe on the backstretch. Love it. Love it. Jesse McDonald says he's thankful for his dad gaming and racing at a young age. Yeah, without our parents, where it would be. Grateful for all the things I've learned about racing, race cars and race tracks. The good, bad, and the ugly. So true, so true. Well, I'm thankful for Weber Valley.
I am hopeful that Greg will eventually come out of the Weber Valley closet and admit that he's behind the whole thing.
That's, man, how many times have we been at a 6 a.m. airport over a brand muffin arguing? Did you see what Greg might have posted last night? Could that have been Greg? It said Daddy's money. It said this, and we're trying to link it to every single angle we possibly can. Could have been Greg, because look at this.
It's hard not to draw those conclusions. Oh, Warren Mowat. Amen, my friend.
All right, let's get out of here. It's been a year. It's been 5 years. It's been 250 episodes. Do we rage quit or do we keep coming back? Spencer, what do you vote? Let's have a vote right now. Let's do this Steyer style. Vote. Do we come back? Yes or no, Spencer? He votes yes. Adam, what do you say? I vote no. So now it's up to you, Adam.
Ooh. That's a lot of pressure.
Spencer does all the work, and he voted to come back.
Decker, should we come back? Whine at me if you think we should come back.
That sounds positive. You got excited.
Yep, we're coming back.
We'll be back.
What else are we going to do? But what's amazing to me, 250 hours of programming. I mean, you could watch show after show for the entire holiday season. Just on a continuous loop. Like, that's almost depressing.
It is. Why do we do it? We'll end on that. You first.
No, don't end on that. Too much thinking doesn't lead to anything positive.
I'll tell you off the top of my head why we do it. We do it because it's important to keep it a 52-year sport. So we'll be back in January to keep talking about the sport we love and get everybody pumped up. Because it'll be awfully dry waiting to get back to April when we can get flying again.
Yeah. No, this is true. This is true.
This is the ceremonial turning of the page, though. We get through Christmas. We turn to the new year. Uphill to Motorama. And it's full speed from there back to the speedways. So appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It's been great. We appreciate everybody's great comments when we get to see you in public. Everybody comes up to us and tells us they enjoy this 1 hour we spend with you weekly, talking about the thing we love, Thanks, Spencer, for everything you do as always. Adam, brother, I love you. Thanks for everything you do for me too. Even though we want to kill each other half the year, the other half we get along all right.
Love you too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
See everybody in the new year. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive.